Hello again, welcome back to MS Fine Arts. How are you all doing today? If you're new to my channel, I'll be presenting artworks that I make with graphite pencil, chalk pencil, color pencils, etc. Please check my videos. I've given the link in the description box below. Please do watch full video without skipping. So today, in this video, you'll be watching basics of how to shade. When you add light and dark shades to your line drawings, you can make your subject come to life by creating the illusion of shallow and depth. And to understand this better, you'll have to understand and practice three very important things, and they are pressure control, on the pencil. The second one is smooth shading. And the third and most important thing is understanding the light. This is absolutely important point that you have to practice. Okay, let's shade something together. Let me explain the first point, that is pressure control on the pencil. Like a realistic shading can be obtained by a series of light to dark values. The lighter you press down a pencil, the lighter the strokes, and the harder you press down the pencil, the darker the strokes. Let me show you. I'm applying very light pressure on the pencil. So I'm getting a lighter shade. Now I'll apply a little more pressure on the pencil. Just see what happens. So this is darker than this. Here I have applied a very light pressure on the pencil, whereas here I have applied a little more pressure on the pencil. So this way you can practice. You'll have to practice this in your sketchbook from one end to the other, like something like this, start from a lighter value to darker gradually. So if you start from a lighter value, if you move towards right and apply a little more pressure gradually, as you can see, I'm increasing the pressure gradually. And I'm getting it darker and darker. This way you have to practice every day. If you practice every day, you will get grip over your pencil. Now, another way is to draw boxes and shade from light to dark in the boxes. Let me show you. Just draw boxes, something like this, and then shade from light to dark in the boxes. For suppose in this box, I'm shading a little lighter, and also in this a little more darker than the first box. Little more darker than the first and second boxes. you should gradually increase the pressure on the pencil. This way. You should be practicing this way. This is another way to practice. Start from lightest and work your way towards the darkest. Okay? Remember that it is very important that you maintain the consistent pressure on your pencil between each back and forth strokes or each individual strokes. You'll get this by practice, okay? What I mean is, you should maintain the consistent pressure on the pencil. It's like in the beginning you might lose the control over the pencil, like you might get something like this, if you don't have the consistency of the pressure on the pencil, you might get the stroke something like this. Here, as you can see, the shadow, the shading is a little darker towards the end and lighter in between. That's because my pressure on the pencil varied. Like in the corners it was very hard, and in between I didn't press it too hard. So it's important that we maintain the consistent pressure on the pencil. Now, second point is smooth shading. Now, how to shade smoothly? First and foremost trick to shade smoothly is try to eliminate major gaps in between your strokes. Let me show you. When you're shading, you have to shade like this, as I said before. Now, you cannot find any gaps in between other than the paper texture. Now, if you have gaps in your shading or the gaps in between your strokes, it'll be something like this, We have to avoid this particular gap. These gaps should be avoided. I should say you should eliminate it completely so that you get smooth shading, something like this. I can say if your pencil tip is something like this, I think you can cover broader areas faster and smoother. If your pencil tip is small like this, it will take a little time. Let me show you. See, if you want to shade, it will take more time for you to shade. Whereas if you take this pencil tip, it will be easy for you to shade broader areas like this. Like this. So make sure that your pencil tip is a little. I have shown you in another video how to sharpen a pencil and all. You may check that video. So if you have pencil tip something like this, it'll be easier for you to shade. So coming to the third point, understanding the light. This is very important for each and everyone who are trying to shade realistically. You have to understand the light. Things will make more sense when you understand light and its behavior. Knowing where exactly to add light and shadow will make a really big difference in your artwork. I'll be showing you by drawing a spear so that it'll be easier for you guys to understand at the beginning. Okay, let me take a fresh page and show it to you. I just drew a spear where just imagine that the light source is coming from here. Okay, so it's coming from top left corner, and imagine that this is the table. Okay, now here we can see two distinct sides. One is light side, which is facing towards the light. If you imagine, this is the light side, which is facing towards the light source, and the shadow side facing opposite side, which is turned away. Okay, now if you just think that the light is falling on the object, something like this, something like this, and this. If the light is coming and falling on the object like this, then the shading will be something like this. So where the surface of the sphere touched the table, it will be a little darker because it is facing the other side of the light. So you will have a shadow like this. Shadow is a must because there is light. This way. Now, these are just imaginary lines. You just have to look for light and then shade accordingly. Now, if we remove these imaginary lines, if you remove those imaginary lines, something like this. So if you fill it a bit, just to cover it up. So here again, we have to remember something. The outline of the sphere may make the look cartoony, so to avoid this, either blend the outline with the shading or simply erase the outline, like something like this. You know, if you can erase the outline like this, or you may, as I told you, you may blend with the outline like this. Like if the outline is too dark, to erase, make a dark background until the outlines get merged. Like, I think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'll just show you in this area. Just make a black background around this sphere so that the outlines don't show much, you know, something like that, so that this will stand out clearly. Now this background should be on the entire drawing, not in one patch like this. I'm just showing to tell you how to make it. So it would be better if you draw the outline absolutely lighter at the beginning, as I did. Like I have drawn the outline absolutely lighter so that the darker outlines, it doesn't stand out. Okay, that's all for today. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like and share, and do follow MS Fine Arts for more videos. Keep practicing, don't lose hope. Bye.